January 8th, 9:46 a.m. Quick District Court Defend Lumpy #1 because we are the #1. Good morning, Mr. Wright, and good morning, everyone. Hello and welcome to Ace Attorney, Pheonix Wright, Trials and Tribulations, where last time we played, we had to do some investigations. And oh boy, did we find a lot of things. I don't know if it's enough to, like, incriminate someone, but it was kind of a lot of big things. I don't know why we took this thing with us, but... Oh, is it gonna be like... They're gonna tell me, like, oh, I don't know trivia, I've never been there, and it's like... Why was this in your office? Why would you have this in your office if it wasn't because of thingy? Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. So what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended up in a giant mystery. That's true, but we still haven't solved a single part of it yet. But we got more stuff. Are you okay, Nick? Huh? Oh. Yeah, of course. I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination. Why don't I believe you? Come on. Anytime, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. Kind of funny to have, like, specific characters recurring being on the defense chair, you know? I wonder if they... obviously they're not gonna do it on Pheonix Wright, I think, right? Or it could be that, like, case 4 will have that. But it's like, you have a recurring character that did do the murder, you know? But, like, in the sense of, the first time they got off without being guilty because they didn't do it. But then the second time, they did do it, right? I don't know. We'll see. I don't think so because it is kind of black and white in most of the ways that it portrays, like, murder and stuff like that, right? So... And also, like, the punishment for being considered guilty in this game, right? Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Good searching Maggie out. You don't need it. How did you know she was stressed? Well, I was watching through the doorway. Oh. You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this will help you. Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. Come to think of it, it doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. This is the small bottle that turned up in Trivia's kitchen a couple of days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. Wow, look at these... Oh, not even 2 days ago, yesterday. What do you mean a couple of days ago? Yesterday! Look at all these tiny bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. There's got many. Wait a second, what is this one? There's one that doesn't smell like anything. We finally got the analysis result back from the lab. So, what is it? Is it a poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication. Medication? Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently. For ears? You mean... Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Elk was using for his ruptured eardrum. What's Glenn Elk's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Covered in unidentified fingerprints. Why don't we know the fingerprints? What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Oh, someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. And now another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but it's going to weaken the impact as a piece of evidence. Well, okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impenetrable today, okay? Today's trial. I'm gonna expose this guy for what he's done. Oh, my name isn't Pheonix Wright. Pheonix versus Tiger. I feel like that's a good... we're no longer #1! No! January 8th, 10 a.m. Discord courtroom #4. Oh yeah, good. Oh, hello. Nice seeing you again. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bride, a birdie. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. Very good. Okay, well, let's get this underway as once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant pouring a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand, but according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Kudo. Furthermore, according to the witness' account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet, the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear. It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? True. Oh gosh, what? Oh, sorry about that. My cat just came in and, like, she is filled with plant stuff. So I just want to brush her off. So she's a bit better. Don't want those to do any kind of harm. There you go. Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. This war, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. Oh, you've lost me already, Mr. Godot. Don't you know that the earth is flat? Don't let the mysteries of yesterday's mystify you today. Only losers think like that. And you've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you've already solved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles. The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here. He was throwing us off the scent. And today, I will prove it. Very well then, let the first witness take the stand then. Who is it? Who are you? Oh, this guy. Oh. And you are? Oh, bonjour everyone. I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and head chef of the Très Bien restaurant. Enchanté. Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman? Oh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am la père and perky gentleman, no? On the day of the incident, you were in Très Bien's kitchen, isn't that right? With you, monsieur. Everything feels right. Haha. Ha. Suddenly unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Well, what's there to be intimidated by Armstrong? Well, Armstrong did kind of almost push and kick and punch Pheonix out of the way, just like last time. Very well, your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Très Bien. Oui, volontiers. At Très Bien. Mais oui, when it all happened, there were 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art deco that day, like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Wasn't I talking about something with mirrors last time? The only way to make something make sense is by having a large mirror. Oh, yeah, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. La cap, la earpiece, and la glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse, no? Ah, okay. A mirror? Ah oui, un gros miroir. Le most enormous miroir that I could find. And pay. Can't forget his, like, massive debt. And suddenly the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front. What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Très bien. What could there be thrown off? 2 customers. That's already wrong. And who were the 2 customers exactly? Oh, mais of course. The young man who died. And the auteur not so young man who didn't die. You are referring to yesterday's weaknesses, I presume? What about the other man that Maggie says she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. Well, why would he? That's like saying, yes, there was another man that killed him for me. Yes, and I cannot talk about him because he has a high debt on me, you know? We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we? I guess we'll just have to try a different approach for the time being. I remember I was experimenting with some new art deco that day. You were experimenting with art deco? I've never heard about that before today. Oh, you're not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur? Please stay on topic. And now, why didn't you tell us the code about this before? But I did just a few moments ago. Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decoction? No. Art deco, as in the style of design, Your Honor. He's talking about interior design, walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing. Oh yes, of course, that deco. I was trying to achieve a more effeminate look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling of la décor. Like having a large mirror between la table, for example. Oh, par exemple. How big of a mirror are we talking about here? A buff. A buff. That is so French. Buff. Something about 4 meters wide and about 2 meters high. Let's see, if 1 meter is about 1 yard. What is that? 1 meter is not a yard, is it? Let me look that up. For my American people, like, I know how much a meter is, but I don't think a meter is a yard, right? It is! 1 meter is 1.09 yards. That is kind of funny. That is like such an extremely funny coincidence. Considering how everything else in like American, imperial, I guess I should say. It's not American, it's imperial. Like it's just old school measuring and stuff like that, right? Like 1 meter is 1 yard. Holy glass in the frame, that's huge. It is kind of huge. 4x2. I was gonna say like I have a mirror like that, but no, I have a mirror that's like half that size. So yeah, that is extremely big. I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually. The ceiling? Is that a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember. I can't see the ceiling for some reason. I mean, no, but I decided not to go through with it in the end. What should I do? Should I ask him more about it? If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Birdie's testimony. But... You didn't ask, tried. You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work. What? A mirror was delivered to Tribune the day before the incident. Really? As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying some sort of design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. Did the vase break the mirror? No, that doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Tribune, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. I don't remember ever seeing a mirror. If you want to doubt someone, try and look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking at you will be dubious enough. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in the mirror. Oh, oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. Normally I would expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object. Normally? How does normality come into this? That is lame, tried, even for you. Eh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? Where does that leave the porcupine-headed lawyer and the top-notch chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with a mask over here? Well tried. Not the hair. I do not have a top knot. Mr. Kudo is correct. There is a very cool guy here, but that's not him, it's me. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument. Bien logique as one latte. Look up the earpiece in the glasses, everything would have been in reverse, so no? But it did say he was trying to also read the thingy. The newspaper. Everything, he should have seen everything in reverse. Mais oui! Hey Nick, we should take a second and think about what old CD said in his testimony. How did he phrase it again? The boy was wearing the earpiece in the same side as a green lens in the specs. No question, you can look me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, no without a doubt. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. If he saw everything he described reflected in a mirror, then everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right, huh? And that clears up all the problems with this testimony, I guess. Or does it? It's kind of to believe everything is the fault of a mirror, but I think old CD saw everything through a reflection. If it did, it would explain all the contradictions. Not all of them. But that would just make the situation worse for Maggie. It's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We just gotta dig deeper. I do think it is the fact that he said the earpiece. But his earpiece is on the left side. Look off the coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Well, let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony then for a second, shall we? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as his green lens on his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. So to summarize, we were told that both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in the mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactement, you see, monsieur. Now that is you think about it, it is not as so hard, no? Unfortunately, that's where we run into monumental contradictions with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side on his head? Order! Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness and observed the victim reflected in the mirror, then we would have expected the victim's eyepiece to be over on his right side. That's the second cup already. How bitter. Try to have a taste of this bitterness. It will calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? You remember this, I presume? The broke a vase, sorry. Apologies, I mean, Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony? Exactly, the old man has one very grievous habit, ordering beans. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elk? Clearly it's the victim's eyepiece. And that is my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elk's HMD made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear, do you hear? His left ear. Huh, well tried. Oh, that's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever. I really thought it was old CD for a minute there. Kudo was good. Enough now. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly harsh. A rash in much of his testimony. Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash. We'll see. A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds. Nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Is it gonna give me something? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Come on, tell the cord. We're all ears. Mais oui, I can explain. Oh, now, please, if you will look at the plans of the restaurant. Yeah. The miroir. What about the miroir? Alors, is everyone sitting comfortably? La miroir, It was in the middle of the restaurant, fighting the two elves. There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. That was the seat at the table next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting. Is that why Maggie only saw two people? Maggie was on the bottom right then, and she didn't see the old man. She saw instead, in his place, Viola. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else. I see. Oh, I see no problems with the explanation we have just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror. What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this. Haha, don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there. I hate that guy. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that? I'm volunteer, of course. Guess that's where we can bring in the medicine. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. That's also why they asked that again. Up. Hold it. So, run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct? A we? Really? Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't put a mirror there. It would be in the way. Oh, look who's talking, tried. What? You're obstructing my view, amongst other things. But, what? It's my seat in the courtroom. Tribulations' charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Unlike you, tried. I tell you, monsieur, the mirror was there, in the middle of the restaurant. There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. And where would that be? Well, oh la la, oh, look how you lean towards me. How is it like the younger boys? Maybe I'll keep you in suspense a little longer. Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know at once. I like the older man too. Oh, you know, handsome. Shall I tease you too? Oh, what? I'm already seeing a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a long time. Is that very hot someone your coffee? I bet she has mocha cream skin and cappuccino perfume. Bien, I will tell you, but there was only one seat from which you could have seen as a victim. That was the seat with the table next to the victim. That was where the old man was sitting. So why can you only see that victim from that particular seat? Mais monsieur, it is very obvious, no? If you look at the plans, you will understand immediately. The victim could have been reflected in the mirror like this, right? So if you were sitting at the table next to him, you would see everything, no? So that's the seat Mr. CD was sitting in all that day, when the poisoning happened? The old man was sitting at the table next to the victim? Why does that seem kind of odd? After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. Wait, did we ever find out where he broke the vase? Yeah, can't be. This one is clean. So yeah, it can't be that one. So we have two things that I'm kind of curious about. I wonder if that is also one that I can ask for. Did you move the mirror while Mr. Kudo was off calling the police? Mais oui, exactement. I carried it out of the restaurant then. You moved a huge mirror like that all by yourself? Oh, what can I say? I know how to pick things up, handsome. Could have actually laughed at something. Well, given the windows physics, I suppose it is possible. Did you move anything else from the crime scene, Mr. Armstrong? I look like the obliging type, no? But naturally, I did not touch anything else. Are you sure about that? I touch nothing else except the miroir. Mr. Wright, is there something the witness has said that doesn't match the crime scene? Yeah, there is. I just can't put my finger on it. Suffering from a case of heartburn, right? Oh, I have just a thing for that. Is it an oil with golden myrrh and Frankensteins? And a few drugs of coffee and voila. Enjoy. Focus, Pheonix. Brief. I just need to focus ignore these strangers find some evidence. It's pretty strange though, isn't it? I mean, nobody mentioned anything about a really large mirror. I think someone would have, but Maggie didn't, and neither did old CD. Then the only logical explanation is that there was no mirror inside Trivia that day. I've just got to prove it somehow. First things first, I'm gonna do the one that's like not as incriminating, right? Okay, it's not that one. So it is this one. And I'm 100% sure it is this one, because it has the vase. Exactly! Haha! This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we just heard, Your Honor. The crime photo? Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Show me with your finger. Should not exist. Sounds like you are just describing yourself, Tried. Now then, if the defendant would please clarify its statement. What should not exist? Should not exist in this photo. This thing. I think it's pretty obvious that this should not be in the picture. The vase? What possible connection does that have to do with the witness testimony? Your Honor, it's only been a day, come on. I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. I'm sorry. I broke the vase. There's one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting on the table next to the victim at all. Don't be an idiot, Troy. That is impossible. That's it's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from. Exactly. What? There is only one conclusion that we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Tribia that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Oh, mon Dieu! Mon Dieu! Don't try to confuse the court, right? Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, and while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. What the? Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we returned back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear in which he couldn't hear from? You only get one shot in life, and there is no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Troy, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? Ooh, if I can explain this, I'll be finished. I'll have that the non-guilty verdict in no time. Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table. And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradiction in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. victim was a phony? What could any of these be? Yeah, doctor made a mistake. Was a phony. I'm gonna try this one. I believe we're looking at this the wrong way. It was actually the doctor's mistake. Oh, what? Yes, the doctor got the wrong ear. Well, I believe we all saw an autopsy report yesterday. One that stated the victim's left eardrum was ruptured and had medicine in it. I'm beginning to wonder if it's not your eardrum that's ruptured, Mr. Wright. It's not time to be playing with people's perception, Nick. Okay, I was wrong. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm the one who made a mistake. I'll give you one more chance. Okay, thank you. Was it the victim? The case is riddled with contradictions. Yet, there is one very simple answer that clears them all up. Oh, and what is that? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. What? Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elk at all. It was an imposter. A phony to be, pretending to be Mr. Elk. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. I love that. Order in the court. Let's let Pheonix get back to this point then. Because I want to keep my 3 HP. You know, HP is kind of a rare thing to have in these, so I kind of prefer having them all. Order in the court. Settle down or clear the room. Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh? Well, what did you say? Right. Are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes, exactly. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elk and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of the one Mr. Victor Kudo. Get real, tried. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was... The serving girl brought him a cappuccino, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl right there in the defense. I remember her well. It's so hard to believe, but... There was one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Burley in the act of poisoning the coffee. Are you insinuating that the waiters in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but I thought it true that the chef was there. He could have noticed what was happening. Well, that's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct? Oh la la, this is the most difficult for me. No, it's quite simple actually. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath after all. Was there in fact a phony at Tribulations that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. Oh. The defense request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the event of the restaurant that day. And also I need a drink. Oh gosh. I feel like for this game I should do some voice training before another voice training. What are they called? My throat hurts so much like every time. It's like something that voice actors do before they go into like a session, like warm up sessions for your throat. I feel like I should try that one day. Like just 10 minutes of like you would accurately explain it. Oh, maybe that will help me. Cause like this recording, last recording, and the one before that, like many of them have been giving me a bit of pain. La victime, Monsieur Elg, he come to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arriving not long after him. There was no other customer. When he got word he won the lottery, Miss Mon Elg became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for a phony to do the acting. Just quickly, there was no mere random restaurant after all. Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleaned up quickly. What you have just done is committed perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later. Oh, oui. For now, we will hear your cross-examination, Mr. Wright, if you please. It took the perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing it'll be in more trouble after this cross-examination. Because that's not only one, that is 2 burglaries or whatever you've done. Le victime, mais oui, the victim is me saving over here because I gotta do that, otherwise I will be crying in my sleep. Anyway, hold it. Was he alone at his table as well? Mais oui, I saw him from la kitchen. Yet the defendant, Mr. Birdie, remembers it differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table. Unfortunately for you, tried. Yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bite. What kind of coffee has he been drinking? It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet. Maya said that makes her seem wiser all of a sudden. She's been hanging out a bit too much with Pearly. I remember the old man arriving not long after him. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, right? Oh, mais oui, he comes often for my special coffee. I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience. Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You are most welcome anytime. I said it was worth one sip. Nothing more. So, Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant at the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. What time was it? Out of curiosity, what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived? Oh no, I cannot remember, monsieur. I believe we were told by the witness yesterday. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness? Oh, the incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived, so the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10 p.m., no? Just after 2, you say. Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful. Oh. I cannot sit here all day and do nothing now, can I? Well, the time of the day will be added to the witness testimony. Nice. Oui, monsieur judge. Everything I do it for you. Merci bien. That's French, isn't it? Oh, I'm learning. I'm glad at least one person is in good mood. He's even humming a song to himself. Okay, there you go. I'm absolutely sure about the time. Oh, there was a time I was stopping to make a dinner. Okay. Almost lunchtime. Witness, get on with your testimony, please. But this is where we have our contradiction. Because we know that it can't have been that time, because it is 1:30 that they get. No! I pressed the wrong one again! There were no other customer. So your only customer were Mr. Kudo and the victim. Look, 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 look. How many times do you need to ask the same thing, tried? You'll never catch me drinking this from the same blend twice. What? You're trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurant, but you're wasting your time. You can't grind birdseed to make coffee, if you catch my drift. Oh, there's a new coffee. But there's a hole in this testimony somewhere, I'm sure of it. When I got word they won the lottery, Monsieur Elk became very excited. Did you see him? No, I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember him saying, yes, $500,000 Presumably the defendant heard that too then. Maggie, oh, you look like a poor little frightened dove. But what about Mr. Kudo? Oh, the old man choked on some bird seeds and got stuck in his throat. Seems like we have yet another incident in our hand. No one else heard it. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident happened. What were you doing? Without any customers, you must have had time to kill. I have a multi-talented woman, monsieur. Sorry, what do you mean? There is the renowned chef, Jean Armstrong, and the tragic poet, Clarice Armstrong. Clarice? Oui, I was writing a poem, an angry tale of a chef in $500,000 of debt. Cooking for a man who won $500,000 on a lottery. It is called Pourquoi. It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for the court. Please don't. There was no time for a funny to do acting. You mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred? Exactly. I asked the old man to call from the payphone. By your own argument, tried. The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so the old man could see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, the opportunity would completely disappear. Indeed. Behind him, the shadow of a doubt has been lifted, n'est-ce pas? Guess Mr. Armstrong is connected in this case, huh? Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Mr. Elk, and I refuse to believe he was oblivious. I think it might have been thingy. Furio, right? Has to have been him. He was there the whole time after all. But if you're right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too? She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember? Ah, you mean that's when the phony staged his act? We'll know for sure once I find a hole in this testimony. And I already know where the hole is. But first things first, I can't be 100% sure, because even a 99% sure has a chance of missing. But I remember XCOM, right? I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. Quoi? Mais qu'est-ce que tu... what do you mean? At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket. Oui, that must be the show Monsieur Elk was listening to. I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct? No, oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was at that time that I had just finished serving the lunch menu. Get to the point, right? If you have one. That show is broadcasted live at 1:30 p.m. and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. But on the air at 1:30 in the afternoon? Now supposedly the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. Oh no! And yet I don't believe his cry of joy would have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. Mais no! The victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over, there is only one conclusion that we can draw from these facts. The victim was an imposter, acting out a poison 30 minutes after the real murderer. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elks at Tribulations that day. The real Glen Elk, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony Glen Elk acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness. It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how would you explain the time discrepancy? Quite a performance, tried. You were almost on a roll. What? But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song. What is this? Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it is now just after 2 p.m. The phony elk is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elk is? I don't believe I had to spell this out for the court. However, at the time, the Gren Elk was already dead. Well, that's certainly the obvious conclusion. Thank you, Troyd. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. What? Now I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The kitchen? The missing corpse? According to the old man's testament, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen Elk, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body? Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, Troyd. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Evidence? Ooh. What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? I thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead. Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Gren Elk concealed? I think in the kitchen. It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside, obviously. The body must have been hidden somewhere inside Trivia. Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside the restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. The exact location would have been the kitchen, perhaps. The body was hidden here. I see. Nice proposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? No. I've never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use la very best bottles, monsieur. It's the highest quality only for me. Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Tribien. Quoi? But I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils. But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication. What kind of medication? I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Elk visited otolaryngological clinic and was given medication that day. You can't be serious. The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results right over here. The contents of the bottle matched the prescription that was given to Mr. Elk. Phew! Mr. Glen Elk's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Oh, mon Dieu! Yes, you know that what I'm about to say was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Birdie. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. No! Order, this is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glen Elk? Never, I could not do such a horrible thing. No. Godot? Mr. Godot? The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That is one of my rules. Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I'd like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear? My H-deficient friend. Je vous demande pardon. Please, you must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me, por favor. Oh, you are. No. Why? Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong. And por favor in Spanish. Oh. This is one of the best scenes of this game. I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it? No, absolutely not. I Let's hear it. You've got one shot. Right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie on the oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you. As does my gavel. Oh, it is clear. What do they always say in movies? I've got a bad feeling about this. Very well, then begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong. It is true. I eat la body in my kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. You must believe me. You were forced? By whom? I cannot say, or I will be erased. Let's try a different question. Then, when Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at the table? There was. And there was another man. Dun dun dun! Who could have seen that coming? I knew it. Maggie was telling the truth. You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. There's one more thing to do. We gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. I feel like I know where I need to go. Like, if I do something like... There was a reason I could not refuse, and that reason is... You have out of $1 million debt? Oh dear. That one is obvious. One of the first parts in the trial where I have been having no issues getting through. It's kind of funny. That means I'm getting better. Did you carry the body by yourself? Oh, mais oui, I carried him. And I carried Maggie too. Maggie too? When she saw the victim collapse, she fainted. I could not leave her there alone. Why did you hide the bodies? A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. What man? Who was he? No, I cannot say. I fear for my life. He's really scared. You just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick. Yeah, you're right. And if he won't tell me, I'll tell him. Why did you go along with this man? I had to do it because I could not. And what reason would that be, Mr. Armstrong? You know, monsieur. Yes. Surely you can expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment? A maiden? You're a bit too old to get away with that. A bit too male. Can't finish cross-examination without establishing his reasons. I'll just have to prove it with evidence. Yeah, we'll do it. But I did not kill him. I can assure you. So you're claiming that all you did was hide the bodies. Is that correct? Oui, that is right. If we are to believe you, Mr. Armstrong, you must tell the court everything. You must make clear the identity of the man who ordered you to do so. He's already confessed this much. He might as well stop dancing around the real issue. Yeah, but he doesn't really want us to tell who the real killer is. Then chuck it to him, Nick. Well, yeah, that's not a bad idea. It is also like a very obvious one, to be honest. You have half $1 million debt, don't you? Half $1 million debt? Is that true, Mr. Armstrong? Oui, je suis désolé. I was weak and I borrowed some money. I needed to buy myself a second pair of jeans. They're made out of gold. This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why you couldn't refuse anything asked of you by this man. Furio. Tiger. A $500 million loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? because your food is garbage. Nobody wants to stay there. That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you. Oh, oui, it is as you say. It's Armstrong. Le tigre, he told me. La tigre? No, le tigre. He told me I was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting the victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried the body of the unconscious Maggie out of the dinner area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen. I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre. I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison in the lottery ticket that was found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was it your doing as well? No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done that. I was not. It was despicable. Mr. Godot, you will summon this for your ticket as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today. So we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow. 30 minutes. Oh, what? The trial will go on. I will see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more. How the... Don't sit back and relax just yet, Tried. No one knows if the chef is telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way. Very well then. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, bon voyage everyone. Court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess. To be continued. Okay, there you go. Now that's what I call smooth. That was so smooth. Not gonna lie, I did not expect to have done that so well. That was fun. That was an interesting one. It was like... I didn't think it was gonna do like a... an acting... How do you say, like... They reenacted the... What's it called? The victim, right? The victim being there, like the having a witness and everything like that. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't sure how everything went, but it was an interesting way of like making it happen. To be like, yes, we did. Like they killed him, then they waited a bit because they knew he was gonna come anyway. Like when you have a regular like that. And also that's the reason why I guess they waited for this specific regular. It's because he doesn't look the waitresses in their heads, right? He doesn't remember their faces. He's just like oogling them. So that was an interesting development. I kind of like that. Was the last time I had to like end the episode a bit earlier, and if you look at this day and the day of the day of uploading, you will notice this was like uploaded 5 hours afterwards. I was like very much just like didn't have time to record. Oh, like I was also a bit what is it called? Bit busy, but I was playing something else, and then I didn't even notice time just passing by, so I couldn't record one yesterday. But anyway, enough about the blabbering and blabbering. We're very much almost done with the trial. I think this is the last one, right? Could be. I feel like it is, right? Could be the last moment of the trial, especially if it's like Tiger is gonna come on the stand. He's like the killer, so obviously that's gonna be then the last one. So that's good. That's good. So then everyone, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. And as always, I hope to see you next time. Bye.